Hello everyone, welcome back to my second video. Today I'm going to talk about some new characters for Smash DLC in my opinion. So these are the top 5 characters that I want to see in Smash. In my previous video where I talked about like people for Smash, I actually had 5 there, but they were just characters I thought would make more of a impression in Smash, but they weren't the characters like I really wanted in there. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. So we'll start off with a character that first formally appeared in Luigi's Mansion, Professor Egad. Now, as I'm doing this, I might talk about the movesets for the characters as well. So Professor Egad is, of course, a mechanic, and if he's not using the Poltergeist, he could always maybe stun his opponents with the Dark Light or with the Flashlight. He could also use like a rocket or a flood or something to maybe get to higher places. And hey, maybe he could even use some of those good old coffee blends you made in Superstar Saga. I think that was the game. I think that's it. Pretty sure it is. To like do different attacks. So he could be a really good fighter to play around with. And of course, there's always a 99.99999999999% chance he will join the princess instead of having him turn. Number 4, Metal Sonic. Now, I know this is Sonic. This could more or less just be a Sonic clone, but Metal Sonic was designed to be heavier, but faster and stronger than Sonic, so he'd be more of like a heavier fighter. So of course, like having a game where Sonic and Metal Sonic are battling it out would be a really cool thing. Because then you could reenact that Sonic CD one. But having Metal Sonic would be really, really cool. Because he doesn't even have to just do a spin dash. He could even do like different moves instead to like swap him out with many other fighters to try and keep him as an original character instead of as a clone of Sonic. So he could really he could tear up the field with like missiles or something. He could of course use some of Sonic's moves, of course, because as he's designed to be faster and stronger than Sonic. So maybe his speed could be a little higher than Sonic. And yeah, he could be like a little slower. Like he could be faster, but but his attacks are more powerful. But he could also be like a much more heavier fighter, so he could be pretty cool. But yeah, let's see how Metal Sonic might be cool. Let's see Metal Sonic hitting the field. Alright, number 3 is Alex Kidd, straight from his great game, the first ever one, Alex Kidd in Miracle World. Alex Kidd is a bit of a long stretch in the Sega base, because he was the first real Sega character before Sonic. But the idea of Alex Kidd could be definitely something to appeal to much more retro gamers through Duck Hunt Dog, Pac-Man, Mega Man, and Mr. Game & Watch. Alex Kidd could be that other character that just really opens up to many other retro game fans. Another thing to like push this guy forward is he has been reappearing in Sega Superstars Tennis and Sonic and All-Stars Racing, and the Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing games. Was I transformed? So he could definitely make a little fighter a very good fighter, as he has been seen a lot more. So he's the more or less other people will know who he is through not only the classic Mega Drive games, but also through like these new games that have come out too that have him in there. His moveset could also come from the stuff of Alex Kidd in Miracle World, where you'd have the motorbike and a little magic ring, and maybe even his helicopter, and his final smash could maybe be the classic scissors paper rock that you always face in those boss battles. The possibilities are endless. Hey, even Alex Kidd could have his own stage, which would be the first stage of an Alex Kidd in Miracle World, just like a big side-scrolling one, which would be really cool to kind of run around in. And the swimming part, instead of having everyone swimming about, you could just make it so it was a little more low gravity, so you'd be a lot more floatier in the water than you would be on the ground. So that could be a pretty cool idea. But past that, because you do know, like, in the first part, isn't really moving you with you, but the water bit is, like, kind of, like, pushing across the screen slightly. But it'd be really cool to see how this stage can maybe end up, and maybe if Alex Kidd could actually get in. Alright, for number 2, Spyro. No, not that Spyro. Still not that one. He's cool and all, but I feel he'd be too big to get in with the rest of the cast. No, I'm talking this Spyro, the Great Insomniac Games Spyro. Straight out of the great good of classics of PlayStation and PlayStation 2. Speaking of that, I played Spyro Enter the Dragonfly a lot. He's a lot better than Skylander Spyro. But yes, because they turned him into a bloody ram. It's freaking stupid. It literally says he's a dragon on on the very first box. It shows him as a dragon. Yeah, he isn't a ram. Anyway, so Spyro is of course a really good character. He's although you could say he's only been on PlayStation consoles, he has also appeared on GameCube, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, and Wii. So he's definitely made some viable appearances on many Nintendo consoles. So to maybe push the old Insomniac Games Spyro in the right direction, we could always have Spyro make a nice comeback in Smash Brothers. We could always use his elemental breaths as attacks, and many of his regular charges and claw attacks could always end up being relatively nice in his regular standard move. But yeah, Spyro should be a really good fighter if he was ever included, and he'd be definitely a nice other like retro third party. If we weren't going to get Alex Kidd, he'd definitely be a nice choice to think up of. Right, my final one was would be known if you've seen my first real video. Tails, the fox from Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, I've actually got a lot more like Sega characters on this list. We started with Metal Sonic, then we went to Alex Kidd, and now we've got Tails, 3 different Sega characters. But Tails, as I've said, was the first character I thought of to come back in Smash 4 because Sonic making an appearance was like, oh, okay, that seems normal because, well, Tails, although it was really well known at the time, and has been there since Sonic 2, Sonic was more kind of in there from the very beginning, and a lot of people knew Sonic as well as much as Tails. So adding Sonic would be like, yeah, we got Sonic the Hedgehog in there, and I was just thinking, yeah, maybe add Tails as well, because you had Ness for a while, and then we got Lucas. And then we lost Lucas and got Lucas back as DLC. So why can't we have Sonic for a bit, and then have Tails a bit afterwards? Because his attacks could be quite simple, like through maybe the Sonic Boom attacks, Sonic 06 attacks, Sonic Fighters attacks. Heck, maybe even helping out with like Sonic Colors and stuff. His unlimited flight, many other things could help him out as well. Heck, through spin dashes, the little tail blade razor, and his little twisters, he could definitely have many things held under his belt that would really make him become a really good fighter. And with that, I really believe Tails should be in Smash 4, and I don't understand why he isn't. It's probably because, like, Sonic the Hedgehog is Sonic the Hedgehog. And Tails is already in the Green Hill Zone stage as well, but you could always switch that out with Amy. Because Silver's a far cry, really. Maybe get Silver in there by swapping him out with Amy. I don't know. But I'd rather Tails, really. Right, well, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I don't really care about subscribers, I guess. But it'd be nice to see a few popping up in there. And as I said, this is my opinion. So, good old Professor Egad, Metal Sonic, Alex Kidd, and no, not that Spyro. We don't speak of that Spyro. Yeah, this Spyro and Spyro, they're all good characters. They're all really, really good characters. Except, I think actually Professor Egad, maybe not. But many of these characters are retro. They're good. Like, many of the characters would definitely appeal to many other retro gaming audiences because they're so, like, old, but they're also really great in their own style. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and comment on what you actually did think of my lists, and what are your top 5 characters that you're hoping that will maybe pop up for Smash Bros. DLC. And with that being said, I am Navistar186, and I'll be seeing you guys the next time I record. See you later.